Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to Owarimonogatari. Tonight on episode 13 of Owarimonogatari, the final episode of Owarimonogatari, the final episode of Shinobu, what is this, Shinobu Mail? What a random title. I'm still kind of stuck on the title for that. But yeah, or like the arc title, you know what I mean? So yeah, what happened in the last episode? That was a great question. Let me just, boom, I'll get the comments up. This one, bro, I've been struggling to parse, bro. I meant to record this last night. Listen, I'm gonna just open up this Dr. Pepper cream soda real quick. You know, this is a fresh one, ready for the hiss. Wait. Yeah. But yeah, I meant to record this last night, but I ended up spending an hour and a half just like talking to people in Discord and rewatching the last episode over and over. And then I went to sleep. So we're a little late on this one, but that's just to show that this kind of segment is kind of crazy. I think it's largely because Shinobu Araragi is something that, like, all things considered, I feel like I don't have a great hold on. It's weird. It's really weird. I don't know. So we'll see where we get with that. I don't have much to say. Let me take a sip of this real quick. So yeah, get yourself a drink, get yourself a snack. We'll start with going top to bottom on these comments here. And then I'll pull up the episode and hopefully I can verbalize what I'm trying to say with some of that as like fuel. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we'll start with just top to bottom on this. First comment here, there's a great, I really like this second thing. Let me make sure I didn't, oh yeah. So the Kanbaru Shinobu speech, or monologue, dispute, whatever you want to call it, fire, right? I was immediately on Kanbaru's side so much because I love arguments that have no basis in logic and like completely refute logic and are just completely emotional. That's like one of my favorite arguments I think I've come to understand. So as much as it's so seeing this comment kind of, I feel like checked me a bit, where I was like, let's actually think about Kanbaru not really understanding Shinobu and the relationships involved, which is something Shinobu kind of verbalizes. And how she does get some things wrong, but she still is, even if she's kind of making a lot of misplays in what she's saying, she's still getting to the heart of the issue, which is what's making it work so well, right? And which is what's getting me on board so much. One of the most like counter things to the idea that Kanbaru puts up of like, oh, you would just, after Araragi, you would move on to a third person, a fourth person, a fifth person, always promising you would die with them, right? That's something Kanbaru says. A great counter to that is the time travel arc, right, in Kabuki, where we literally see that Shinobu doesn't in fact do that. She instead chooses to like end the world and like all the chaos happens, where she doesn't move on from losing Araragi, right? So that's like, we actually have quite the opposite of what Kanbaru says happen, or like we actually have the opposite of what Kanbaru is saying happen in this time travel like side thing, right? And so parsing through that has been a large part of being like, okay, like what the heck is going on with their relationship? I'm gonna say something crazy here. Okay, this is the crazy idea. This is the crazy idea that I don't even really ascribe to, but this is where I was like, my brain was like tending to, was leaning for some reason or the other. And I'm gonna share it here, even if I think it might be kind of crazy, just because it's a fun idea, right? It's the idea that Kabuki, so we know that Shinobu, and like some of this has already been said, right? So I'm kind of revisiting old stuff, but we know that Shinobu can manifest things, right? That's how she like makes the replicas of the sword, which is like obviously really important nowadays, right? It's the idea that the time travel arc in Kabuki, that whole thing, was manifested by Shinobu as opposed to being an actual event of time travel. And that difference, like actually, like the difference in what that would mean is that if it's not actually time travel and it's just manifested, that means it's not necessarily accurate, right? It would be painted in the picture that Shinobu desires to paint it, you know? And so that would show that like, even if Shinobu, like that would change that arc from being oh look, this is an example of how Shinobu would act if she lost Araragi. It would change it from that into this is how Shinobu would like her to act, or imagines she might act, or is trying to convince Araragi she would act if she were to lose Araragi, right? And so it would change it from being a piece of evidence into a piece of Shinobu copium, right? And I found that idea to be quite interesting, both because like, if we're looking at it the kind of meaning of the arc, being like the dangers of like revisiting the past in a sense, which kind of ties into how did I phrase it? I forgot how I phrased it, but like regret, right? Where it's like you can't change it, you know, and so obsessing over the past and like thinking what could I have done, or yeah, what if is how I framed it. Obsessing over the what ifs of the past. What if Hachikuji didn't die? You know, what if can like cause a lot of like chaos, right? I feel like that's kind of the meaning of the arc, and so if we take that and we think, okay, what if if we see the what ifs as not accurate, then that's also kind of applicable to how that kind of thought works. And so what I mean by that is if we see it not as an accurate tale of what would happen in the past in this different instance, but instead Shinobu is coping, trying to imagine what would happen in the past, and but is obviously not going to just be correct, then that's kind of accurate to how people actually do it in real life, where they will, like, people look into the past and be like, what if I got that different job instead? What if I didn't move away from this school? What if I blah, 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 right? And so, but the conclusions you draw from this hypothetical what if aren't necessarily accurate, and they're definitely impacted by your current biases, Like, grass is always greener on the other side. Like, what, are you gonna play with a what if and then think, oh, my life's actually the best it could have been and this other route was bad? No, I mean, a lot of people play with the what ifs because they're trying to, they're like, oh, it would have been so much better, It's colored by their present biases. So, the point being, I do think there is something really interesting in that, conception of revisiting the past, especially if we factor in the possibility of present biases influencing it and making it not accurate. Whether or not that's literally happening with Shinobu and with Kabuki, I'm not gonna say because I don't know. And honestly, I feel like we kind of just, as somebody said in the Discord, just kind of take it at face value and kind of take it as is. Because if we spin off and start doing our own thing too much, then we're just gonna tangent and go and not be following the show anymore, right? But it was an interesting enough idea that it really brainwormed into the side of my skull, and I just couldn't let go of it, Hence me literally for an hour and a half talking about it, and then rewatching stuff, and then being like, dang, it's already 5 a.m. I'm going to sleep. F this. I'm gonna make the episode late. I'm trying to sleep, bro. But yeah. So that is all to say that this is a great point. Another person says it here, or somebody else said it right here, I think. I don't know. Oh yeah, right here, right? So that's a great counterpoint. That is something I didn't address. And I do think that it's probably more accurate than not for how Shinobu would act, but that hypothetical I find interesting enough to at least bring up in the video, So yeah. This was also the episode that I recorded during right before Thanksgiving. So a couple people being nice and thankful for this series and this Thanksgiving and thankful for the reactions to the channel. That is so sweet, by the way. That actually made me very happy to see people like that. So that was very sweet. Shout out the community. Shout out the Discord. Whoa! Shout out the Discord. If you're trying to yapologist, you know how it goes. But yeah. Continuing. This line being what Araragi told Shinobu, if you die tomorrow, I'm fine with my life ending along you. Yeah, they kind of got that communal agreement both ways. One hypothetical, I'll give you a little teaser for something I'll bring up later. I think a lot of what Kambaru is saying to Shinobu, in reality, she's also saying to Araragi. It's got that double meaning. That's kind of a lot of what I'm thinking now, and I hope we're gonna revisit in a little bit and kind of run it through that lens. I'm thinking, but. Yeah, so I think this concept, both in how Araragi feels with it towards Shinobu and how Shinobu feels with it towards Araragi, I might low-key be thinking that Araragi, I don't know if he's 100% there with this, right? But we'll get to that. This point on the DIY thing being him doing his thing with Gon as opposed to him, hoeing Shinobu, I find this, it is true that he has this promise with Gon. It's just the timing of it all. The timing of it all is crazy to me. Where he listens to Shinobu and Kambaru have this entire discussion, which kind of results in Shinobu agreeing, or at least standing down with the idea, in favor of the idea of you have to talk to him and give this some closure. You can't just avert your eyes from this type behavior. But so he watches this all happen. Shinobu goes to sleep, and then he's like, okay, I'm gonna go duel the guy, right? Araragi, if Araragi duels the guy, then the guy's gonna be dead, and then Shinobu's not gonna be able to do the closure thing, you know? So even if he does like have the promise to quote do it himself, like you can do it yourself after you do it after Shinobu gets to do her thing, right? Like go wake up Shinobu, you know? Go say, hey Shinobu, I have to go kill this guy. All right, like I'm gonna do it, you know, like if you want to talk to him, like now's your chance or something, right? And he's not gonna ever be that direct because it's Araragi, you know. And I would honestly think that he might be trying to like get in the way of that because he listens to all that from Kanbaru. Kanbaru says something that, and then he intentionally misrepresents what Kanbaru is saying in order to further this idea. So I think he's listened to all that Kanbaru has said, and then is choosing to go against it and go do the duel. So either so that Shinobu can't get closure, or by proxy Shinobu won't get closure, you know? Or the first won't get closure by Shinobu, I mean. So yeah, that's where I'm at with that. Though, I don't really know if that's 100% what Araragi's doing. I am kind of postulating. And we're going to definitely know by next episode, depending on what he does. If he just pulls up on first and is ready to fight to the death, then... Or you do the duel or whatever, and Shinobu doesn't get to pull up at all, then yeah, that's definitely what he's doing. But if, I don't know, maybe there'll be some time thing or something, I don't know. So, I don't know exactly how the pieces will fall, but that's kind of where I'm at now. Good job on getting caught up. Good job on being caught up. That's actually so exciting. I love it when people get caught up. One of my favorite things, random thing, one of my favorite things is watching people comment on old videos and progressively get closer. So fun, so fun. This is a really good question. The question of why does Araragi not want to tell this story? And why does he want the audience to forget it? Now, I think next episode, like as you're kind of saying, is gonna be like the final episode is gonna be really helpful in answering that. Right now, I think that I think Kanbaru is kind of calling Araragi out on a bunch of his nonsense in how she was speaking to Shinobu, and so I could see him not wanting that to come to light, you know, because it is like largely this is an arc about dealing with something you'd rather not deal with, and for Shinobu it's dealing with the first when she doesn't want to deal with the first, right? And Araragi constantly is avoiding dealing with things that he probably should deal with, you know. So I think that could just be as simple as it goes, but depending on what happens next episode, it could go completely crazy, right? I could see a situation where like the encounter with the first goes horribly wrong in some way, and then Araragi's like, well, I dealt with the past in a sense, and it all fell apart. I'd just rather we never did this in the first place, you know, where the encounter goes so wrong that it kind of that he wants it to be erased in a sense. But we'll just have to see how it goes. So I could definitely see it going really wrong, I guess. Oh, Araragi, just communicate with Shinobu. Go say what's up with Shinobu, bro. It's that simple. Simple as, man. But yeah. This is a great chunky chunk here. The top part is something I've been thinking a lot about. I even have a little bit written. The difference between like logical and emotional rationalization or logical and emotional like argument. One thing that I really like about that approach is how it reflects on Araragi's justice and like, you know, that being kind of a fractured mess. Because, I mean, and it really comes across in the way Kanbaru is saying things, where she's saying, like, you don't deserve to have a relationship or to carry out a relationship. She says something like that to Shinobu. She's making all these claims with keywords like deserve, you know, which, like, by what measure does someone deserve something? You know, that's usually an argument on like some sort of justice or some sort of like big concept like that, right? Some sort of like owedness, you know, where you're not owed a relationship. You don't even deserve having something like that by some sort of tenet or whatever. But for Araragi, what ground does he have to make an argument like that, right? He doesn't really, because he doesn't even want to make those arguments because his entire logical basis for justice has fallen apart completely by cruel reality and right everything we've seen with that, you know. But that contrasts really interestingly to Kanbaru, right? who doesn't need logic to base her claims like that. She doesn't need to have that like big sense of logically based justice. She can just feel things and use that as rationalization for people deserving. You don't deserve to have a relationship because the way you're doing it, I don't like. Boom, simple as, right? Like it doesn't have some sort of grand, like giga IQ, philosophy behind it, It's just kind of it's self-affirming in that way, right? And so it's interesting, like that kind of got me thinking, like an emotional justice, right? Based not in any sense of logic or tenets or ideals, but based entirely on feeling, kind of in the way Kombudu is doing it, right? Though that's kind of an extreme way to put it, but kind of following that, like how would you even tear that down? Because we've seen a logical justice get torn down with Araragi, right? But how would an emotional one? How would you even fight that? And I feel like Hana Monogatari would be a good play to kind of get to that, to figure that out, because that's a big moment of Kombudu not knowing what to do, and she even goes to Araragi for like support, right? Like after she runs and hits the crossroads, like she was completely lost and directionless in the middle of that arc, right? So that could be a really good place to kind of answer that question. I would probably think that the way to tear down an emotional justice would be through emotion, right? Where you just overwhelm them in an emotional way, and then whatever justice they have falls apart because they're overwhelmed in that way, right? Which perhaps is what goes on with Kombudu, But yeah, that like approach to claiming things I found to be really interesting. When you parallel it with Araragi, that's the end all be all of that. Like that little idea, yeah. Okay, continuing. This stuff, kind of reflecting it on Senjugahara and Araragi is pretty interesting too. The thing of like her falling for anyone, whatever. But so like them, the way I kind of read what you're saying here is that like Senjugahara is trying to, yeah, you say right here, logically rationalize the emotions that are going around. But at the end of the day, it just is what it is, and it doesn't matter whatever logical reasoning or lack of that you find, because guess what? They have that emotional connection, whether it be through banana peel or not, and it just is what it is, And yeah, that's why. That's just why. Like, think about it, bro. There's a reason that we conceive, or like I think very traditionally, there's a conception of the heart versus the mind, Like, when your mind's confused, just follow your heart, baby. That kind of deal. It's because of stuff like this, where like what you're gonna try to analyze your love relationship. Sometimes you just love, man, and call it whatever you want. Call it freaking dopamine pleasure receptors, infatuation, whatnot, right? You can like call these things out and approach them from a more logical angle, but that doesn't, like, approaching something logically doesn't completely destroy the emotional underpinnings of it or the emotional core of it, and so you have to address the emotional core, and like, even if you're because that's the thing, that's where like cognitive dissonance comes from, bro. Even if you are like logically aware that what you're doing is a bad thing, if you're emotionally flared up enough, you'll still do it, right? In a lot of cases, for a lot of people, that's not even necessarily true for everyone, but there's still that war, right? Where you might really want to do something, even if you logically know it's a bad idea. Even literally Shinobu does that in the last episode, in the episode we last watched, where she's like, I really want to kill you, Kombudu. I really want to smash your skull in, even if it would ruin everything, So she's logically aware of the consequences of such action and how that would ruin her relationship with Araragi, but her emotional impulse of shutting off the yapping monkey that is telling her all these things she doesn't want to hear is so strong that, like, it causes that dispute, causes that dissonance. So yeah, it's just, that conception is so real. Applying it to this area of the story is really interesting. Bada boom, bada bang. There's a gag that Ononoki reminds Araragi of Senjo. That's interesting. That's pretty interesting, because we did see that last episode with the hand-holding thing, which I do still see as like it's just crazy. It's just, I'll get to that in the recap, but it's just crazy. The Araragi solving problems logically as opposed to like doing any of that like emotional business, being kind of something we've seen before. It's pretty interesting, like in Kuro. I think that's true. I think it's very true. Do I have anything? I don't know. You kind of spit bars here, so I don't even know. Let's see. Like, Tsukigi guides. Oh, yarara. this way, I wanted to say something on this. The sisters describing the loves they have for their boyfriends. Because when Araragi's like confused about his love for Hanakawa, right, he goes to them. The way, like, these are kind of base. Tsukihi like goes on the like physiological reaction, but like this thing of like Karen goes the extremely simple perspective. Hey, I just want their baby. Not that helpful, but whatever. LML. I actually find that to be quite succinct. I actually kind of like that because it really just do be like guess what? The biological impulse to have children. She's just like, yeah, I want his baby. It's just like, it's so simple, you can't even really attack it, right? So if you can make something that simple your foundation, then like you're kind of unassailable in a lot of ways, you know? Like simplicity can be a really good defense. Getting complex gives people ways to loophole, gives people ways to sneak in, you know? But just being like, I want their baby. And like, that's kind of, I like it. I like that a lot, actually. So yeah, like even like man, there's something beautiful about simplicity, bro. Minimalism, right? But it also like it's also different ways people think. Like I think you can the what are those called? The Myers-Briggs test. There that has like one of the things. Not that that's like super pogged or anything. I mean, I don't know. I think it's kind of fun. As many tests are, they're kind of fun. I don't know if I don't take it as like super truth or whatever, but there's one of the scales there is like emotional versus thinking or something like that. There's like these are very real ways that people approach issues, right? Logical versus emotional. That's pretty real, and like it's not wrong to consider things logically. It's not wrong to consider things emotionally. But man, there is such a like here we're seeing like Araragi, who very logical, running into Karen, who's very primally emotional in the way she's approaching it, and there's just not anything productive that's coming out of that, right? So I do think ideally there can be like a good marriage between the logical and the emotional. Though honestly, me personally, I grew up as I think logical maxing. Nowadays, F it we ball, I kind of don't like logic. I'm more of an emotional guy at this point. Where it's just like, I don't care if I'm right or wrong, I'm just gonna pog, right? I don't care the logical reasoning for pog. What if I just pog? Stop me, I dare you. Like you can't, you know? Because I'm just pogging. And if I pog confidently, then there's no way to stop the pog, right? Because it's just pog. You know what I mean? So, I don't know. There's something that really resonates with me with this, like, with the way Kombudu is approaching this, where it's like, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even matter if she says out-of-pocket things or if she's wrong, because I agree with her, because she's so emotionally there, and she's just randomly critting Shinobu in the core of her emotions, right? So it's like, it doesn't even matter all the logical fallacies you're making, like, low-key, if it works, you know? It's like that bro, it's just something about blunt force that really I love. I just love blunt force, you know? Man, I wish I had a better way to explain it. Hey, I guess the best analogy I could come up with is like killing someone. And I know you're like, that doesn't make any sense. No, yeah, give me a second. Just give me a second. Where it's like, it's something there's something so wonderful to me about the concept of like, I'm in an argument with a person about something where like going through a logical argument, right? I'm in an argument about something, you know, I'm mad, I'm like, hey, let's talk about justice, let's talk about war, let's talk about charity, you know, let's talk about some crazy abstract stuff, right? If I'm losing the argument, what if I just kill him? Then it's like, I won. You know what I mean? I don't know, there's just something so funny to me of like, it is what I define it to be, and if you disagree with me, I kill you. You know? And then now I'm right because you're dead. And so I'm right. It is what, like a might makes right, like Giga Chat kind of approach, where it's just like, okay, cool. Bink, you're dead. Right? It's almost like one of those, where it's like we're ignoring whatever truth, whatever objective thing they're tapping into, whatever logical arguments, whatever discussions, persuasions. We're ignoring all that business in favor of just something blunt. Something blunt but really palpable. And so in the killing example, it's the capacity to kill, right? It's my big stick hitting your skull repeatedly. But then in the Kombudu example, it's just emotion, right? It's just that raw emotion. It's just like, it doesn't need to be formed into some sort of, like, you don't need to form the metal ingot into a sword in order to bludgeon someone to death with it. If you swing it fast enough, it'll kill someone nonetheless. That's my analogy. So yeah, I just love that idea. And Kombudu is based. I love Kombudu. Kombudu is actually slept on, I think. I actually really like Kombudu. But yeah. This is what makes Araragi dense, real. Seeing how Shino applies to all this would be interesting as well. It's been like 9 months since I've seen Oshino. I think I saw Shino once in Kabuki, right? Wasn't he in Kabuki for like 2 seconds or something? It's been so long since I've gotten to see like some actual Oshino time, bro. But yeah, we love emotional intelligence. What would our other characters fall into? That's an interesting question. What does it mean to be special? That's a crazy question I don't even have an answer for. What other characters would our other categories where what categories where other characters fall into? That's a fun question. I'm not even that good at answering it. I'm gonna just skip it. It is what it is. I don't know. I was thinking of like Nodeko, but it's like she's probably emotional, right? As opposed to logical. But it's just, dude. That's the thing. These characters are so hard to read. They're like complicated, and they also like very like they have different levels of depth, right? Where their surface level might be surface level cute Nadeko, but then you actually go into the surface and there's all that snake business that we've seen, you know, with like a Tori, right? And so it's so hard. It's like trying to analyze a real person. It's like I'm trying to analyze if my friend that I know in real life is emotional or intelligent, or like emotional or logical. It's like in some ways one way, but in some ways the other, and I can kind of make a statement, but like I don't know if they would even agree with it, right? Even if I feel pretty confident about it. It's just it's these characters are so crazy. Like it hits that level of starting to feel like I'm trying to look at a real person and get into a real person's head because of the way that this story is like written, right? Last thing about this, the smash instead of to be faded away. I don't really think I don't really feel the Band-Aid thing here. I do think it's very, I agree with this definitely, that it's the choice, it's the action part. That's very important in the sentiment. But what I find so important about the phrasing of smash instead of to be faded away, what I find so important about that phrasing is that there's the option of just doing nothing, right? It's the dichotomy between activity and passivity, where both can work. You can just never deal with it and it will fade away and you won't have to worry about it, or you can take the action to smash it, right? And so ripping the Band-Aid off, it's like the thing with the Band-Aid is that no matter, like with that analogy, is no matter what, the Band-Aid has to come off. So it's a question of, do I rip it off now or do I slowly peel it off, right? It's more about like, you know, taking the action all the way, but like you still have to take the Band-Aid off. Whereas with the first example and the phrasing of the smash thing, you don't have to take the Band-Aid off. The Band-Aid will just do it. I guess it could fall off naturally. I guess, do Band-Aids do that? I guess Band-Aids could fall off naturally, but they're kind of annoying. I don't know. Maybe the Band-Aid thing does work better than I thought, but either way, it's the choice of you don't have to deal with it, but you kind of should. You know, that's kind of the statement being said. And I think for me, it really comes down to closure, where Kambaru's saying like, you owe it to him to give him closure. Whether that closure is telling him that his existence is threatening her relationship with Araragi, or telling him, or just killing him, or self-defense, or actually falling in love with him, whatever it is, you deserve to get he deserves that closure, is kind of the point, right? So I would rather you give him that closure through smashing him, rather than just not giving any closure and it fading away. Yeah, so that's kind of where I was at for that. Oh my goodness, I feel like I'm getting suffocated by these headphones, man. Pink horse cubed. Whoa, bro. I'm gonna highlight this. I like this connection a lot. I'm kind of scared to open. Like I did open it and read it already. I'm just scared to open it for like people that haven't seen it. I'll open up real quickly. So spoiler alert. Don't read the ReZero season 1 spoiler alert. I won't really go into this, but I do really like this connection. I think this is like because this is the ReZero episode 18, Subaru and Rem. Their dialogue. It really I feel like that episode of ReZero and like the heat in that conversation, which was so good, that's like something that Monogatari tries to do like very consistently, where like they'll have those really dramatic like big outpourings and conversations that are just on top of each other, and I loved it in ReZero, and I was kind of, I think, caught off guard by how much I liked it. I think even at the time Because that's a reaction series, go check it out. Whoa. But even at the time when I watched it, I think I was like, dang, I can't believe that we just had an entire episode that was just talking and I was here the entire time. Like, that's something that caught me so off guard when I watched it, because I don't think I'd ever really experienced that, like, almost at all before, to like that level. And then Monogatari comes around, and that's like the bread and butter of Monogatari, where that's something that Monogatari tries to do constantly, where it's constantly those dialogues and constantly those conversations, right? But yeah, so I love that connection, because they both kind of do that they make a similar move there. And I was so bewildered by it when it happened in ReZero, but then nowadays it's like, dang, this is kind of like, I totally get it now. Like, it's so fun to follow this, like it's such a fun way to approach a story, you know? So I do like that connection quite a bit, right? And the deeper, like, thematic connections about, like, love, and the importance of rejection really work as well. You know, but I'm not going to get too much into that because it's Monogatari, right? But yeah, I do like that connection a lot. I'll even give it a heart. But yeah, this thing. So some like clarifications and such. The Shinobu saying right now, because she says, like, Araragi's my minion right now, or something like that. And so the way I had interpreted that is kind of like okay. So you could interpret it two ways, right? You can interpret it with a right now is underlining how, like, it's not the first and now it's Araragi, you know, which is relevant. Or you could kind of spin it into a, like, does that leave the door open for, like, another person down the line? I kind of feel like it has a little bit of an implication for that second part, for the leaves the door open. And the reason why I think that is very specific, because immediately Kombaru, hearing that, says, I don't like what you've just said, and then and like really focuses on that line and kind of calls it out, right? Because what that does is, even just saying right now, even if you're not even intending to talk about the future, you are bringing up the reality of, I wasn't always in a relationship with you. In fact, I was in a relationship with somebody else at some point, right? Well, she's not saying that to Araragi, but it's that idea, right? So it's calling out the temporality of the relationship, which, I mean, is just the reality of the situation. But I almost feel like calling out the temporality kind of, I don't know, like, almost like counter romanticizes, where it's like, dang, I really have lived most of my life not connected to this person, you know? It's just an interesting door to open, right? And it leaves room for a like I don't know, because you can, like, when you're in a relationship or something that's so extreme, it's like, it can feel like it's swallowed up your entire life. But if you really, like, step back and think, like, I'm only in this relationship right now, and you realize that you've lived most of your life without being in this relationship, then all of a sudden the relationship's a lot smaller, right? And so calling out the time frame of it by saying now opens the door for, I think, some chipping to be done at the foundation of the relationship. That's not even to be said that that's bad. It's immediately something Kombaru focuses on, and then she starts bringing up, like, the possibility of the three of them, like, living together, right? Are like not hating each other, right? But yeah, so that's kind of more so what I mean there. The implication that leaves, I think, is pretty interesting. It's definitely more of an emotional argument than anything else, where it's like, even by saying that, you're admitting that, like, consciously or not, you're admitting that this is but a moment in time, which, while true, by admitting that, are you perhaps, like, you know, chipping away at what the relationship feels like, or something like that, right? So that's more so what I mean by that. The thing about Ononoki being sarcastic with the hand-holding thing, kind of a fun translation of, like, you're the worst kind of thing. I think that sounds about right. That sounds like something that you would say. Even if, instead of you creep, you're the worst, both kind of work. Kind of synonymously, I think. Referring to Shinobu kind of as his girlfriend, but at least the closest of her relationship, by the like, her translation, I think totally does work. The thing with, like, one thing I was thinking with Shinobu is Araragi has just lost Hachikuji, so, like, I could see a situation where, like, okay, you lose someone you care about, and then all of a sudden you start putting up some barriers to like protect yourself from the pain of losing another person. And that is to say that, like, right after he loses Hachikuji, to what degree is he, like, full sending his attachment to Shinobu? And the reason that's I'm even questioning that is just him, like, being in the, like, kind of that resentment stuff I've talked about, I was kind of hypothesizing about before. But, like, him being in the bush, romantically interlacing his hand with Ononoki, as Kanbaru is confronting Shinobu about, like, Shinobu's, like, loyalty to Araragi getting in the way of her giving closure to the first. I mean, it's just, like, conceptually, that's so wild. Like, he's literally interlacing his hand with the, like, rival to Shinobu, while Shinobu is confronting this idea of, like, cheating on Araragi almost, right? So it almost feels like he's cheating on Shinobu, and I'm using strong language with cheating, but it almost feels like he's cheating on Shinobu a bit through Ononoki, while Shinobu is trying to figure out how to approach the first, because she's so scared of dealing with that and how that will impact Araragi, you know? So it almost feels like hypocritical or something, right? Though he's not making the statements that Kanbaru is, so it's not quite hypocritical, but it's got that, like, it's got that kind of hypocrisy energy in the air to me. And it's not to say that he doesn't want Shinobu around, because he definitely does. He still wants Shinobu. He still wants to keep Shinobu. But I do wonder, there was somebody phrased it really well in the Discord a while ago. I forget exactly who, but it was like, an anchor is still a binding or something like that, where even if Shinobu is his anchor to, like, life, it's like, as much as it binds you down, like, it cements you, it also binds you, right? The thing that protects you constrains you, kind of deal. So even if you are anchored, and that's a good thing, even if that feels like that, I think the almost, like, other side of the coin of, and I hate being constrained, makes a lot of sense, right? Yeah. Man, and I think you could apply that to, like, so many, like, I don't know, like, marriage or something, bro. Where it's like, I love my wife, but I kind of miss my freedom. I love my husband, but I kind of miss my freedom. You know what I mean? That kind of dual nature of relationships that are this close. I feel like that's what Araragi might be dealing with, is that other side of the coin of the closeness he's getting with Shinobu, especially after losing Hachikuji, where it's like, dang, here's the negative impact of being close to somebody. Like, how close should I be to Shinobu, you know? Something like that. He's definitely still attached to Shinobu, though, and I don't think he, like, wants to get rid of that entirely at all, but, you know, I think I phrased it as, like, keep her around, but keep her at arm's length, you know? Something like that I think could make sense. But he's also so, like, tunnel vision-y that maybe that's not even quite right. I don't know. But yeah, and then Kizu took place at this gold pog. But yeah, okay. Bro, is my fan on? Why do I feel so hot in this room, man? I'm wearing a t-shirt. That makes no sense. I'm overheating. I'm dying. Okay, let me get the episode up. This episode was so good. First little thing about the first. So he wants to get his sword. Okay, there's two motives he could have. He could either just want to get his sword back, because it's, like, made out of the blood. It's, like, the original replica. He could either want to get that back from Shinobu, which is fair, and that's kind of what we're guessing, or he could actually be having some, like, emotion towards Shinobu that he wants to, like, deal with her with, right? However, I don't know. Like, I don't want to just say that he's lying, but he might be lying, right? Because he says at one point, like, I've had, like, 500 years to, like, think about it, right? Or something like that. I've had so long to, like, recontextualize and, like, feel better and get a better sentiment. Bro, you were literally ash on the wind. Like, you haven't actually been thinking, you know? I don't remember where you said that. Somewhere in here, though. It's just, like, that to me feels kind of like he's capping. I said something, yeah, like this kind of thing where he's like, I didn't actually mean it. I've turned a new leaf. That kind of business. I want to apologize, you know? It's like, bro, you were ash on the wind for so long. Like, was that even a time for you to be able to think and, like, refigure all that out? Because I think he claims that at one point, that that's like part of it. Her divine beauty sends shivers down my spine. Hey, bro, I'm literally her boyfriend right now. That's kind of crazy that you're saying that to me. This guy's kind of crazy. But yeah, so I think there is a possibility for that, for this kind of thing to be true, but I also could definitely see it being false. Also, he tried to poison Araragi with the holy water. So it's like, combat oddities with her. I mean, you sound like you're coping a bit. Yeah. Say what you want, but my impression is that you want to get closer for the revenge. So I could see both as being true, which is, you know, not a very good place to be, because it's like, well, I don't know what the heck he's doing at that point. It could be either. Wait, what does he say here? Wait, let me check actually real quick. A reason to resent her? Telling me you didn't mean what you said is a lie? Yeah, I mean, you did say it. Right here. I think. I want to apologize. Okay. Sure. Okay, never mind. I missed the line. I don't know where the line is. Either way, though, I don't trust the lad, but I also could see it being genuine. So it's kind of a tough spot. It's kind of a tough spot. I haven't really got much to approach that. I find Shinobu's response to this situation a lot more interesting. So the cooking here, I think that, so Kambaru knows that Araragi was in the bushes. Kambaru knows that Araragi was listening, right? Right, she even says Shinobu didn't notice. So I feel like a lot of what she was saying to Shinobu, low-key, she could have also been saying to Araragi. Right? Yeah. So this dialogue is so good. Low-key, I want to just rewatch the entire thing. But it has already been 45 minutes, so I low-key need to, like, want to start the episode too. But, like, a lot of this stuff, let me find some of the good things. Like, dude, like this. She says it's not the right thing to do. Kambaru, why not? What answer would she have other than it emotionally I don't like it, you know? That's what's so, like, somehow based to me about a emotionally based justice. Where it's like, yeah, how do I even assail that? How do I even disagree with you when it's just, she says it's not the right thing to do, but why not? Because closure's good. Okay, but why is it good? Because I said so. It just comes down to the emotional basing as opposed to any logical basing. Because my issue is if you try to full send logic and you don't do any emotional, like, action or whatever, I think logic kills itself. I think logic is self-defeating. I don't think, like, if you send logic all the way down the rabbit hole full send, it falls apart completely. For me, that's been my experience with trying to logically base things, right? Like, it always comes down to just, like, complete subjectivity. I have no idea what's happening. Everybody disagrees with each other. All these arguments are going around. Nobody's right. Maybe everybody's right. There is no such thing as right. It all falls apart, right? Like, that's been my experience with logic. Which is why something like this, where it's like, I'm saying it's the right thing to do, not because of some, like, beautiful objective claim, but I just simply believe it to be the right thing to do. I guess that's kind of the thing. Like, objective versus subjective. I'm just a hoe for subjectivity at this point. I'm a subjective being. How am I supposed to acquiesce anything objective? I can't do that, bro. So, if I'm going to say something's the right thing to do, I'm not making a claim of objectivity that there's some, you know, foundation of right that exists that I'm tapping into. No, I'm the foundation of right. I've decided it so. It is my decision. I have affirmed this. And it is based in what I believe. Subjectivity. Bam. Which for Kambaru is emotional, right? But that's what I like so much about that. But yeah, let me hit a couple of these good ones. Love is a natural phenomenon. Don't refuse someone's love. Bars. But like, this kind of thing of like, your relationship has nothing to do with love or hate. Like, low key, what if she was saying that to Araragi? Your relationships have nothing to do with love or hate. With how you know, like, I don't know. I almost feel like that could be kind of true. That almost feels like it's attacking Araragi there. But let me find the juicy one. There's a juicy one. Oh, right here. Wait, first I'm getting distracted. Let me get distracted by this first. This is what I was just saying with Yoshi's comment. The only one I have to call kin right now is your senpai. Because imagine this. Imagine she cuts out right now. The only one I have to call kin is your senpai. Boom. Right? That's saying it's Araragi, easy clap. The only one I have to call kin right now is your senpai. It's saying only right now is it boom, easy clap, which makes it less of a boom, easy clap. Bro, I love the way I explain things. It would give like a boomer like a freaking neural breakdown, a brain hemorrhage, right? Respect my boomers out there, respect my boomers. And she even doubles down on right now. Bro, she doubles down on right now. Why does she say that part twice? Because that part is the thing that like kind of that takes away from the punchiness of it, right? But if she's saying that like in comparison to him, that's like, okay, sure. Like I can kind of see that she's trying to use that as an attack on the first, but attacking the first almost indirectly attacks the second, which is Komburu's point later of whatever you say about the first, however you act on the first, is something you will do to the second and then the third and then the fourth and then the fifth. It's the entire way that Shinobu's approaching this as being this is a counter to the first that opens the window for this is the counter for the second. Which is what Kombu latches onto here. Maybe you don't understand what I say, but I don't understand that sentence. She's even like, bro, that doesn't make sense to me, bro. I don't like it. I don't like it in the least. That's kind of what I was getting to. I am Kombu. Sounds like having more kin than one is a problem. Because and I kind of take it a different way than Komburu's taking it, for sure. Because she's saying, like, why can't we all get along? You know, like, why are we, like, the right now part, why are we, like, sticking on to one? Why can we only have one kin? But I think it's just even the very idea of, like, because I guess they're kind of tangentially, like tangentially attached, but I've said enough on it. Kombu spits some bars that are personal bars, except reality, monkey girl. Oh yeah, the whole thing about he's gonna die. It's true. I don't care. I don't care. But yeah, like, a lot of this stuff, right? Let me just let it play. Because it's so good, I don't want to just be skipping through it, you know what I mean? It'll give me a reason to drink my Dr. Pepper, too. Because she comes in with some pretty legit logical arguments of, like, the dangers, the risks, whatever. Kombu says, I don't care. Her voice actress goes so hard here. Because, man, bro, you, like, listen to that part specifically. You can't create a story unless you talk, unless you meet in person, nothing improves. That's, like, super anti-aversion eyes, right? Which is something I apply super hard to Araragi, where you have to deal with the thing. Dude, like, you can't create a story unless you talk. Araragi was apprehensive to even tell us this story. That was the entire thing with the start, right? And so Kombu calls that out of, like, you can't be doing things unless you do things, right? You can't just avert your eyes and then expect things to change or whatever, right? You have to, like, it's very action oriented. And then Shinobu silences her. She, like, goes for the mouth and then it, like, slides up to her face, bro. And then she's calling out, like, you're using you're using logic as an excuse for your fear as opposed to actually using logic for logic, right? But man, I can't help but think that, like, especially with it being about, for Shinobu, it being about, like, seeing the first rather than Araragi, Araragi out here seeing, like, a dozen characters, right? And, like, tunnel visioning attaching to each one, especially with, like, Hachikuji, where he's ready to go up into the mountains and, like, abandon his entire family and, like, Senjugohara and everyone. He's ready to full send that, right? When push comes to shove like that. So, like, that entire energy in the air combined with this being about, like, cheating and whatnot makes it feel applicable to Araragi. I love Kombu. Also, these lines are just so good. Like, not even trying to get into, like, some crazy textual stuff, but, like, you can't be expected to hang on to his love for 400 years. By reviving now, he endangers what you've built with Araragi. That's just a beautiful line. He endangers what you've built. It's not even about, like, me hating you. It's about you threatening the thing that I love. Oh my goodness. It's, like, so romantic. Got my heart fluttering for real, for real. His love is a problem for you? Damn. It's because it's not even that I hate your love. It's not even that you're a bad person. It's that it just doesn't work for me. It's just the cruel reality of it doesn't work, man. It gets in the way. I'm happy where I'm at, and I love it. And you being here, you loving me, dangers that. Oh, so good. He should have stayed in his grave. Okay, that's a little extreme, but like, we accept it because Komburu's spitting. Yeah, if you can't do that, you're being neither aloof nor noble. Dang! You're just bad. This, like, dude, I feel like she's, like, low-key, Araragi's just bad with people. Is she not just, like, because she knows Araragi's in the bushes. It's just crazy. The right to neither slave nor master. You don't have the right to build a relationship. That does, like, low-key, I feel like she would say that to Araragi, but she would only say it if she was so emotionally provoked and in such an extreme moment, and this is the closest she will get to that, right? Like, would she ever say that to his face? I don't think so, but, like, would she say that about him for him to hear? I could definitely see that. You don't have the right to build a relationship. Especially with it being based off of her resentment towards, or, like, all of Tsuruga Monkey, right? With, like, her attachment to Senjugahara and how Araragi, like, yoinky spunkied it. Ononoki's like, I gotta get in there. And he's like, let me interlace my hand real quick with you. While talking about you don't have the right to build a relationship. And then Araragi makes a romantic handhold with Ononoki in the bushes while watching his deeply attached Shinobu getting romantically, or getting, verbally pummeled. Yeah. No, I'm glad, like, it's crazy. Like, I'm glad he stopped her, because I think it's good for Komuru and Shinobu to deal with this. But the way he did it by romantically hand-holding, that's just got some crazy energy in context. And then she goes for the pretty base thing of, I'm just gonna kill you, and then what's your argument then? Love it. And Komuru, like, one-ups it with, then do it, I don't care. Yeah. Or, like, the whole thing of, like, you'll throw away the second like you threw away the first. That got me thinking. Do you think Araragi would do that? Do you think Araragi, like if Shinobu died, and Araragi, like, the whole promise of, if you die, like, I will follow you, do you think he would actually follow through with it? Like, I think in the moment of Shinobu dying, I could see it happening. But if he's hanging out with Shinobu, and then he gets a phone call, and it's Shinobu's dead, or if he's hanging out with Senjugahara, and he gets a phone call that says Shinobu's dead, and it's true, like, maybe, I think he would just move on with Senjugahara, right? In the same way that he was willing to just jump ship for Hachikuji, abandon all of his life for Hachikuji, why, I don't think it would be a stretch for him to abandon Shinobu for somebody else. And I think he would do that with, like, anyone, right? So even if this doesn't apply to Shinobu because of time travel, I think it kind of applies to Araragi and how he copes with other people. That he'll throw away one for the other because it's all how it makes him feel or something like that, right? Number 345, just keep breaking up forever. Damn, such a good line. Yeah, this thing of, if you died tomorrow, he would go with you. I don't know if he would go with Shinobu. I think in searching context, I don't think he would. So yeah. That's just kind of, that's most specifically the application I think could tie on to Araragi. And then the whole thing of, do you want to be a good person and loved by others, is just super smart. And for someone like Araragi, who's constantly trying to be the hero, right? Constantly trying to be, like, the hero for others, I think that contrasting that with being a good person is extra relevant, which is another thing. But yeah, I don't know. I just want to watch an episode. Oopsies. Oopsies, just want to watch the episode now. So yeah, Araragi, kind of the thing there. I think a lot of what Kamadu was saying applies really well to Araragi, which would also explain why Araragi immediately is like, I'm just going to go do the duel, and then purposefully misinterprets what Kamadu is saying in order to, like, feed whatever he wants to do. So he's going to go do the duel. So he's, like, avoiding what she has said. She's avoiding, like, the whole closure thing with Shinobu. He's like, I'm actually not going to follow that. I'm not going to allow that to happen. I'm going to go do the duel instead, right? So I think if he feels called out by what Kambadu's saying, it would make a lot of sense for him to react in that way. Yeah. And so yeah, he's going to go pull up on that. He needs the sword because of him pulling up on Tsubasa Tiger. He needs the sword somewhere in here, which I think needs to come from Shinobu. So I do think Shinobu's somehow going to get involved, but I don't know how. I don't know how. Episode has formed the battleground, so we're ready for that. Or like the meeting. So Shinobu's sleeping. All right. I don't know how this is gonna wrap up, but it should be exciting, of course. Yeah, I'm scared. Okay, maybe I'm just scared. Maybe that's why I'm dragging my feet in this last moment here. It's the last episode of Owari. What if something goes horribly wrong? Because it's weird, bro. It's weird for it to be... Like, I feel like it's so weird for us to be here now. Time-wise? Why are we here? Aragi's dead, bro! Kuyomi dead, bro! Okay, let's jump into this. Episode 13 of Owarimonogatari. Should be exciting. Let's see it's going in a 3, a 2, a 1. Bang. Oh my goodness, restart. I lied to you. Where's my subtitles? Why didn't it... Okay. Okay. We're trying it again. Episode 13. Let's get going. In a 3, a 2, a 1. Bang. Give me my subtitles. Thank you. Sandra Gohara. Are you saying I might die here? What's going on? Wait, time skip forward? Okay, no. Okay. Dang. Crazy how the timelines are like that. My hair is freaking out, bro. Okay. That's just Tsubasa Tiger behavior up in there. I thought it was a bit of a burden. Whoa. Wait, why is Senjo so based? I still labor away. Aw, that's so sweet. This might be our last chance. Oh, dang. This duel got him feeling. That hypothetical that Kamadu gave to Shinobu. Oh my goodness. No hesitation. No hesitation. Whoa. Yeah. Oh, wow. Dang. Work to be worthy of them? That's such a good line. Aww. 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 Oh my goodness, that's so sweet. I can't believe we got to see that. Oh my goodness! She's too based. she said homecoming present. Bro. Them actually saying I love you to each other, that actually made my heart flutter. What the heck? It is interesting. Yeah, he gets called on or he starts thinking about with what Kamadou's saying to Shinobu, right? He applies it to himself and then is like and then brings the hypothetical that Kamadou posed onto Senjugahara and says, you know, what if I'm replaceable, right? In the same way that he feels man, because it's like he feels replaceable with or the hypothetical of being replaced by the first comes up. And then it extends, right? It extends into every other part of every other relationship he's in, right? Or these other relationships he's in. Not every, but yeah. He just used that for an emotional pick-me-up, bro. But now what? Special in the eyes of someone else is also a good line. Oh, you look like that? This again? Oh, hi, God. Oh, Kamadou's here. Wait, the foot stamp. I thought we took that off. No key on the Schleezy. Oh, not yet? Okay. There we go. And it's gone. I thought Ononoki already took it off. My fault. Okay. Where's your armor? Oh, okay. Shinobu's not around, right? Oh, he has his own voice now. That's crazy. Dang. Surely she sent her servant. Surely that's what happened. Whoa. Ooh. Like being worthy of her, like what Senjugahara just said. Wait. That's kind of fire. A training sword? Oh my god, why did you have this ability? What is happening? Why she got Excalibur type? A virtual version? Huh? Okay. And then you're gonna like run and grab the sword? Okay. Strange. Good read. Honestly, good read of the situation. Like, low-key, that's kind of true. Yeah? Competent. Oh, she a runner. Oh, she a runner. He's gonna get half an hour of sprint practice, bro. Wait, that's kind of fun. What are you doing to him? Okay. Oh, stretching him out. Okay. That's gonna be the problem. How is that the problem? Okay. I could see that. You don't want to be there and be gasping because you just... He is over there scheming. No, yeah, yeah, yeah. What if he just didn't even move? Sprint starts, he just stands there. That'd be pretty. That'd be pretty good. The Kambaru running shoes buff. Please don't do anything weird with the shoes. Oh, hi. I forgot about that. She was like flipping him off low key. Wait, didn't. Okay, yeah, here we go. It's all coming together, bro. Are you gonna get distracted by this? Wait. Wait. Gone. Oh no, is he gonna... Wait. Was the 8 o'clock timing intentional? Because you're a rat? The Flames of Purgatory. Damn. Oh, right, because, yeah, the house. Why is she forcing him to choose? Why? Wait. It's a stun sword. But okay. This is crazy. Because, man, I just assumed he would run to them after. Not that he would have to choose now. And he's got a 3-way split. Dude, why are you doing this to him? Yeah, Kambaru can deal with one of them. He says, I'm going to choose all 3. Wait, no, let's see. Okay. She do be a runner. And she's not able to do that. Ooh. It's a call for help. It's a call for help. Even if it's logically correct, it's emotionally a hoe. Yeah. I sacrificed you because I knew you could handle it. Don't make it fun to be sacrificed. Well, I know you pull up eventually. Maybe that's why he's kind of late. Let's see. Yeah. He's embracing the lolicon, bro. Big. Ooh, this music. Gone. That's the real sword. Shinobu? Shinobu? Episode. Hi, episode. Did she just drop it off and leave? Wait, that's kind of crazy if she doesn't even pull up. Did Shinobu just airdrop that? And that's kind of crazy for her to do, is it not? She really just said, whichever one of you wins, wins. Instead of helping Araragi. So she's honoring the duel. No, yeah, her not showing herself's crazy here. But it's kind of a message itself. It's kind of a message itself for her to drop the sword in. So maybe that counts as closure, but like, dang. Ooh, ooh. He's reflected. I'm not. Dang. I have to work to become special in someone else's eyes. Dang. Mmm. You couldn't? Wait, bro. Bro, wait. Aragi. Good stuff. Admitting to be replaceable, but I'm still only me. Man, seeing his vampire bite there was crazy. Is he running too? Oh, he is. He came out of his armor. He looks like a... He's scary. What's this outfit, bro? Okay. Okay. That was actually smart for him to come out of the armor. Ooh, drop the shoe. Drop the shoe. Stop giggling. What? What? He just ran past him. Did he get him? What did you get him with if you got him? Oh, a talisman! Wait, that's kind of smart. He yoinked it. But that stunned him long enough for him to get the sword. Wait, damn, that was actually so clever. Ooh, wow. Like a million different oddities coming out of his being. The ones that he's eaten. Now they're released onto the streets, though. Wait, can we deal with them? I don't think we want this ooze everywhere, right? Oh, shoot. If we can meet again, then let us meet. Wow, he even is willing to, like, take that. Who did you say that to, Shinobu? Oh, she went to him. Good stuff, Shinobu. She's eating him. Is that your name? I don't know what that word means. I think that's his name. It was. Wow. Wow. Bro, what a beautiful shot that... Why are you here? I'm trying to enjoy the scene, bro. Shut up! Shut up! Why are you in your pajamas, Araki? Get some clothes on. Kamadou clutched Senjigahara. He killed the tiger. Okay, I'm trying to watch the show, bro. I'm literally like getting like, what are you talking about? Don't admit that things contradict. That's just crazy. You're so stupid. You're literally saying it's fun to try to parse through Koyo missed? I don't know what that means. Wait, do you die today? I thought, wait, when do you die? If we're still alive. No, I think so, right? It looked like she did. Wait, she didn't? The armor was left behind. Yeah, I got you, bro. It washed up, we didn't see it. We don't know. Yeah. Just like the sword. Yeah? Oh, shoot! Gon got his armor to make another sword. That's how she killed Aragi. Oh, wow. Is that what happened? What dream span? Exactly, yeah. Gon reforged it into a sword to kill Aragi. Wait, how does episode factor into that? To grab it? To grab what? Huh? No, Gon wants you dead, bro. But only after Shinobu, we know, won't destroy the planet from Kabuki. Yeah. Because now Shinobu won't. That's his name. Bro, did he really get killed by the sword made out of his rival? Ononoki, get out of my house! He's about to get murdered. Oh my goodness. This reminds me of this question to Hachikuji, bro. Low-key, right? Nobody is made happier. Whoa, 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 what? Okay. You burden Shinobu. Go to line on Ononoki. Aren't trying to be. Dang. It's like Numach let me focus. Sodachi, I meant. Crazy coming from you. Not trying to be happy is for cowards. Won't redeem your dead predecessor either. He is such a doomer. For now, that's what I think. That's what I still think. I will be happy. We will be happy. Come on. Okay, if we wait 400 years. It's gotta be now, though, bro. Enough time for corpses to rot away and turn into dust. Damn. This time would come to an end. Ugh. Okay, that... Bro, why didn't I think about where the sword came from? That's crazy. Did I not even consider that? He just looks at the camera and ends the episode? Is there an after credit? There's not. Dude, I don't even know, bro. It's just crazy. He really ended on the... That was the most doomer thing I've ever heard. Nobody is happy. Nobody can be happy. Bro, what are you yapping about? I'm gonna just have to relook at everything he said there. Like... Bro, and to hear Ononoki say, like, isn't that just apathy? Because she's, like, the apathetic, like, that's her, like, thing, you know? Is that she's, like, she looks all apathetic on the surface or whatever. So for her to be calling him out on that is just nuts. Is just nuts. Man, and I'm so... That shot of, like, the first, which I'm gonna have to write his name down, but the first getting, like, dying with just his, like, chin, like, his jaw... Excuse me? Like, what? Okay. Oh my goodness, basically. I think... So, it's crazy. What? It's just... Bro, okay, so you tell me he pulls up after this to Tsubasa Tiger? Bro. I guess what's so crazy to me about that is that in Tsubasa Tiger, like, I guess that's just Hanekawa's perspective, but he is so heroic looking. Where here, it is just so depressing. Right? So that's just crazy first. And then like, secondly, like, this shot with the moon, whatever they're doing with the moon here is so, like, insane to me. And it was just causing my brain to start to die, bro. Where it's like, look, it's like, it's dark, it's like normal nighttime, and then Aragi completely black and white with only red nodes in the coloring, right? As this, like, horrible, like, the dying death throes, squelling of this oddity. And then when Shinobu comes in, like, even the sky... Like, look, now it's like, it's almost like it's day now, right? But the moon it turns from, like, typically the moon's white into, like, this black rock. Just the visuals were so extreme. It was just crazy to me. Wow, I didn't even get a good look at this. That's his neck. It's so fitting that she's starting at his neck, because that's where you'd bite someone with a vampire, right? Man. And it was the case that she still cared for him, right? Seishiro. But she had to admit, but she was still of the opinion that, like, Araragi mattered more, you know? Yeah, there's the armor that gone yoinks. I'm glad I met you again. That's so very sweet. That line is just so crazy to me. There's someone who's more important to me than you now. Because, like, I don't even know how to explain how, like, sad that line is. That's a really good shot of Shinobu, too, right here. Ooh. This thing, bro. The Black Moon imagery, like, took me. Because it's the inverse night. Like, I don't even know I don't even know where to go with that. It's just such strong, like, and it's like it's daytime now. But it's not. Without a fulfilling conclusion, without providing relief through honesty? What are you talking about? Wait, say that again. 400 years after the first attempt, his suicide was finally successful. This is true. I mean, he died. Shinobu helped him, I suppose. And then you say, what? Without a fulfilling conclusion, without providing relief through honesty. Araragi, I mean, this is what Araragi thinks. Without providing relief through honesty, isn't that what she just did? She just told him that she still cares about him, but that she cares about Araragi more, and that she's glad she got to see him, but and sad she'll never see him again, but she'd rather be here with Araragi, you know? I mean, that sounds like, I mean, I guess Araragi's not seeing that as relief, but I don't know, because he was just a chin. The guy was just a lower jaw, like, at that point. So was she, like, when she's saying it to him, is he even hearing it, or is that just for her? But, is that even what you mean, Araragi? What? Dude, this shot is just insane to me. I've never seen a black moon like that. I've never seen the white golden sky with a black moon like that. And without any kind of salvation. And then Ogi's just like, get me in this episode. Like, Ogi, go home. Yeah, I don't know, man. There's a couple crazy things here, too, of, like, they're aware they're gonna die, right? I mean, Ogi's aware that Araragi's most likely about to die here. Let's meet again if we're still alive, which means that Araragi on some level is aware, right? He's just not wanting to admit it to himself because he's passive. And part of that is Ogi being like, yeah, like, guess Gon has the sword now. And Araragi's like, oh, but there's no reason for that, because he doesn't want to actually admit anything. Shishiro say Shiro. Shishirui say Shiro. Something like that. Man, and like, why does Ogi know that? So like, Ogi knows that, which means Araragi on some level has heard that, or Ogi found it out on their own, I guess. That's a crazy thing for Ogi to know. I mean, did Araragi know, like, hear it all, but only, like, didn't want to actually say it? Oh, man. And then Ononoki, who was, like, on the roof. A little flashing thing. I clung to the ceiling as she passed underneath. Yeah, I'm on my way to go die. She doesn't join him. It's too early in the morning for a date with you. I mean, Ononoki surely knows that he's gonna die, right? Like, I don't know why. Like, her saying it's too early for to go on a date with you. I don't know, like, surely she knows what's going down. Because she follows up with, are you happy that you became a vampire? So it's like, if he's not happy he became a vampire, and if he refuses to be happy even if people provoke him to be, right, which is kind of what she says here, then, like, would she stop him from dying? You know? Because if she's like, yeah, because she's saying, like, this is a crazy thing to say to someone right before they go and die, right? Because I feel like she's saying, like, if you believe that nobody's happier if you're with Shinobu, if in fact you believe that you're a burden to everyone, then why would she stop him from going to Gaon and dying, right? Man, and showing this Araragi going to the shrine with Ogi knowing about it, right, shows that on some level he knows about it. So it changes that from him getting murdered to him letting himself get killed, which is way different, right? On some level. You have to throw it on some level because it's Ogi, right? But if I'm with Shinobu, it only imposes a burden on others. Like, were you not listening to the story that you were telling, Ogi, bro? I'm confused. Like, Araragi, bro. Like, we literally was talking all about how you're special in the eyes of Shinobu and Kanbaru and Senjugahara, you know? But you just refuse to accept that, I guess. Right? Or that, like, you accept that you're special and valued, but still find yourself to be a burden that doesn't make people happy. Shinobu most of all. Because, yeah, I guess he sees, like, he watched her eat him while saying, like, I'd rather be with Araragi and I want to stay with him for a while. And he sees that as him being a burden on her. Like, her choosing you doesn't mean you're a burden. That means she just chose you. Right? Like, you're not a... You know what I mean? Like, framing yourself as a burden in that situation is just crazy. And Ononoki calls him out on all this, but he's not listening. You're telling me to leave you alone because you won't be happy and aren't trying to be. I kind of take her as true. I kind of take this as true. Right? And, like, you telling me to leave you alone is like saying, let me go die. Because that's what happens with Gaon. Because you won't be happy and aren't trying to be. Araragi, how are we gonna fix you, bro? I don't even know what we're doing with you. I don't even know what you're, like, if you're not trying to be happy, and you won't be happy, I mean, I get, the only olive branch he throws out, the only attempt he throws out is that maybe after 400 years. But that's just insane. Bro, like, happiness, like, that's something I just disagree with entirely with happiness. Of, like, if you live your life and you keep saying, like, I'll only be happy once I do this, I'll only be happy once enough time has passed, once I get the promotion, once I become a millionaire, once I blah, 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 once I get a girlfriend, once I get a boyfriend, blah, 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 blah. If that's your qualifier for being happy, I don't think you're gonna be happy, bro, even if you get it. Because, like, happiness isn't something, happiness needs to be now to a degree, okay? And that's not saying that there's no utility in, like, delayed gratification, but completely abandoning your position of being happy now in favor of it'll be later. Well, guess what? Later is gonna happen, and you're gonna have no happiness because you haven't had any habit of happiness, you know? You're just gonna come up with something else. Like, you know, well, I'll be happy once I get a girlfriend. You get a girlfriend. Well, I'll be happy once I'm married because then I know they won't go away. Oh, I'll be happy once we get a family. Oh, I'll be happy. And then you get to the end of it and it's empty, right? Like, happiness has to be now. So for him to even say the 400 thing, it's like, you're just throwing that out. You're just placating, bro. Oh my goodness, I would smack this guy. Bink. Come on, nope. Araragi, we're gonna go get McDonald's, okay? We'll be fine, bro. Eat these chicken McNuggets and tell me you're not happy. Oh, you're depressed? Have a Dr. Pepper. Like, it's that easy. I'm playing. But, like, you know what I mean? To some degree, I'm not playing. But to a large degree, I totally sympathize. It sounds like you're pleading for sympathy because of your own misfortune. Like, you can lead a horse to water, you can't make it drink 101. Are you one of those people who think wallowing in unhappiness and bad luck is the same as toughing it out? Ooh, I didn't even read that. Wait, good. That's so true. Wallowing, there comes a point you just gotta lock in, bro. Just wallowing in, yeah, like, oh man, there's so many, that's so real. People that just have abandoned hope, because that's like, wallowing is letting go of the remote, okay? Letting go of the remote is not playing the game. That's not toughing it out, okay? Just being like, my life's miserable, but at least I'm miserable. Like, yeah, I'm miserable. It is what it is. Life's misery. It's like, yeah, it can be. And accepting things that are out of control is fine. But completely letting go of everything is not toughing it out. That's you giving up. That's a good line on Inoki. Most people call it apathy. Yeah. Like, and that's kind of what I mean about the McDonald's thing. Like, like, not even joking. Where it's like, bro, if you're really going through it, like, yeah, like, it's important to do the real steps of, like, therapy, medication, blah, 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 right? But there comes a point that there are people out there that just are just feeling letting themselves be miserable. And it's like, no, get your booty over here. We're going to McDonald's. You're not allowed to just feel miserable. Like being miserable, you can be miserable because of yourself. You can make yourself miserable. If you want to be an apathetic, miserable, melodramatic mess, you can be. You have that power. And so doing that and then asking for sympathy is annoying. It's like, bro, no, we can. You are fixable. You are winnable. You know what I'm saying? Misfortune isn't a valid excuse. It's kind of that idea, yeah. You have to shoot for the happy ending. Exactly. Like giving up is the problem. Step on your face again. Is that like the protective mark? Let me give you the protective mark. And then he's like, "Oh, you're calling me out. You're so hard on me." Languishing and unhappiness is simply negligence. Yeah, where it's like, no, take the reins, bro. A lot of people don't want to take the reins in their life because guess what? It's really scary to take the reins. That's literally what she says by cowards here, bro. Taking responsibility for your own life is so terrifying because then you're the only one you can blame. So you can let go of the reins and be like, oh, I'm miserable. Misery. It is what it is, right? Or you can not be a coward and like grab some control, right? And that's not at all like a statement on people that like have like clinical depression and like their brain has trouble producing things or like extraneous circumstance, etc., right? Like it's a very specific issue and a very specific like approach to life that I'm talking about here, right? You don't want to at all like, you don't want to tell somebody that's like clinically depressed like, just go on a walk, you'll feel better. Hey, just drink a Dr. Pepper, you'll feel better. Like, no. There's a brain problem. We can fix that with medicine or whatnot, and we can come up with our coping strategies and do things that are positive, right? But there are people that just do this instead, and Araragi is such a one of them. And it's like, bro, you're literally just walking to your own death because it's just it is what it is. Nobody is happy. I'm not going to take responsibility and like change it. Like this is such a bad move. You set such a bar too about the special thing earlier this episode, but then you turn around and do this. No one. What are you? What? Nobody is happy. Not me. Not Shinobu. No one. You can't say that, bro. You're not everyone. You're not everyone, bro. You're only you. You said it earlier this episode. All you are is you. Where was that line? I don't even remember. Right here, right? You're special, a chosen being. Okay, you're idolizing him. Just because he says it doesn't mean it's true, first off. Like, let's be there. Perhaps I'm not special or chosen. Nobody can replace you. Anyone can replace me. But I'm still me, baby. You can never be me. You know what's really crazy too? He's saying all this while he's wearing someone else's clothes. That's kind of crazy, is it not? Is kind of part of the replaceability thing a little bit. You can never be me. Like, you can replace what I do, but you can't be me. Right? You can replace my role, but you can never be me. Because, I completely agree that anyone's replaceable. It is what it is. I'm replaceable. Everyone's replaceable. Sorry, is what it is. I agree with that. But that doesn't completely absolve you from doing things in your life, right? Like, being replaceable. Just because somebody else can do what you're doing better doesn't mean that what you're doing is worthless, right? Because guess what? We only have so many people on the planet, you know what I mean? Like, oh, anybody can cook an egg, Well, guess what? I'm hungry. Cook an egg still. Like, that doesn't mean that I don't want the egg now. You're the one that's next to me. Cook my egg. You know what I mean? Like, just because anybody hypothetically could doesn't negate the reality of you being able to. There we go. Escape the egg analogy and actually turn it into a sentence. You are not me and I am not you. Isn't that all there is to it? Because I love that idea. Like, you know, but the way that he even loses a shoe there. I guess, and he's doing this because he knows he's got the seal. So he's got the win condition already. I have no idea when he grabbed that, by the way. That was a genius Araragi move. Bro, he's even got the Araragi hair stripe here. Whoa. And he kind of reminds me of Kaiki. Did I say that? This is Kaiki fit. Isn't this Kaiki fit? Huh. And he doesn't even use Shinobu's weapon, bro. He uses his own weapon. Good move. That's what he was saying at the beginning that he wanted to do. He wanted to win himself. Man, and this was so crazy. Because, yeah, I guess he did see this, and this is why he's saying Shinobu's not happy either. Because he watched this, and this was obviously very sad. Wow, I can't believe we only got his name there. Good thing she cleaned up all that oddity juice, too. That was a problem. Araragi, bro. I think this is the best Shinobu arc, probably. Is that true? I think that might be true. He's not satisfied with the closure at all. I just don't know what to do with this guy. Without any kind of salvation. Yeah, he's not satisfied at all with how this turned out. I'm honestly feeling okay about it, bro. I mean, she got to say goodbye to him. He was gonna die. Like, it was either you or gone. Right? Like, it's what Kambaru said, bro. It's literally what Kambaru said here. No, wait. It's literally what Kambaru said about, like, you don't get to be a good person and do the right thing. Or, you don't get to be well liked and do the right thing, or whatever, right? Like yeah. Do you want to be both a good person and loved by others? Like, it's very similar to that, where it's like doing the right action doesn't mean that it's fun or it'll make you happy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the pain of it all. But that doesn't mean that it's meaningless or that there's no salvation or whatnot. I guess he's just crazy. Like, he killed someone that he's seeing as special, as unique, while he's claiming himself as replaceable. He's just, man. He's told that oh man, that's crazy, bro. You were literally told by Senjo Gahara at the start here that you were special by their definitions. He's like saying, oh, I'm only special by other people's perspectives of me, rather than being special objectively or something. I'm not no chosen one. I'm just chosen. Brother, that makes you a chosen one! Like, you get, like, that's literally what it is. He's been chosen, but he's not the chosen one. But, bro, you've still been chosen. So, why are you so like this? And, like, the requirement to be a better person, like, is that factoring into, like, you being a hoe? Where you feel like you're not adding up, you're not being enough? Because he does say that with Shinobu. About Shinobu, you know? It's crazy. Like, he's even given oh my goodness. He's literally given the reins. He's given the reins of the relationship. He's told by Sugihara, this is not an unconditional bond, right? And you, like, I want to be worth you and I want you to be worth me, right? He's told that, and then his response to that, to being told that there is that, like, the potentiality, or like that he needs to actually work to be special and that he's not going to just be given it, you know, at that point, that it is conditional. I feel like, does he just give up at that point as soon as it's like within his control? They are special to me and will understand. They will understand. I trust they understand that the man Araragi Kiyomi prioritizes little girls over lovers and friends. Crazy line. It's the I almost just said that him saying that he conceptualizes himself through, like, because he conceptualizes himself through little girls, he's saying that he prioritizes himself. But that's getting it. I'm just losing it if I don't even know where I'm at there. That's crazy. I gotta just calm down. It's just crazy. He's told that he's special through the eyes of others. He accepts that he's replaceable. He says it to the first. He wins the duel. Feels horrible about it. Look at this. I mean, this is so horrible, right? Like, it's black and white and red. He's holding the sword, like posing for an execution, giving some empty platitude, like some empty, not even empty statements, but just some statements that are, I don't even like think he feels satisfied by these statements at all. He's just saying some stuff. And then Shinobu comes in. Like, look at that hesitation. Like, he just holds it. He just holds it. Who did... She said that to Araragi, right? Don't apologize, I forgive you? Or no, is she saying that to him? No, no, she's saying it to him. Because it's, I'm sorry to, comma, Seishiro. Araragi is such a rat. Like, he's literally told that he's... like, this is kind of what I'm thinking, bro. This is kind of what I'm thinking, bro. That he's told that he's special through how other people see him. That he's been chosen, right? And then he goes, and he slays the chosen one, right? And all this occurs. But despite all of that, despite being told that he's special, all that, he ends up not valuing his own life at all in telling this story to Ogi. And even and goes and is ready to die and says that nobody's ever happy. Right? It feels like he's been chosen, he's aware he's been chosen, and having the responsibility of living up to that choice causes him to give up and let go of the controls and avert his eyes and be a hoe. That's kind of where I'm at. That's what I'm thinking of the lad. Thank goodness you're hanging out with Hachikuji right now. Hachikuji will clutch. Hachi-clutchy. And he's saying all this, like, Ogi just told you you're gonna die, so you know. I may not be happy, but happily enough, we still have much time. Time to live, time to think. I'll be happy later. And then as he marches to his execution. I'll be happy in 400 years as he marches to his execution. That this time would come to an end. Or maybe, is he just seeing this as a new phase in his life, kind of? Because he is saying that this time would come to an end. And then he just looks at me, bro. Araragi, what do you have to say? Don't look at me like this, bro. This really is the look of someone that's walking to their own execution, and they have the choice to not. Like, this is such a defeated, I've given up look to me. And I just don't even, I don't know, man. It just stomachs me in a weird way. It just stomachs me in a really weird way. Yeah, I think it is like a, what, like a living up to others choice? Is that really what it's all about? That even if Shinobu says that that she's choosing Araragi, that Araragi means all that to him, and that she wants to be there for him, even if she says that, like, he doesn't see himself as enough for that. Poor Shinobu. This was very sweet. This actually got me a bit. I was like soaking in the emotion, right? I was like feeling it. And then it cut to Ogi and it was like, you little, and all that emotion in my heart of like, dang, this is crazy, the music's swelling, Shinobu's like saying all this crazy stuff right now and it's getting me, bro. All of that immediately turned to anger. It was like, Ogi, you get away from me. Like, I want to be there for him for a while. Araragi, why don't you listen to her, bro? Why don't you listen to people when they say these things? Like, if your foundation is broken, then be founded in others, right? Like, if your own self is falling apart, like, you have a support network of people that want to help you, so rely on them and trust in them, bro. You literally say earlier, I trust in Hanakawa and Senjugahara to understand my prioritization. But you don't trust in them when they say that you're special and they want to help you. Then you're not doing it. And you even say I love you to Senjugahara. Something that is, pretty crazy for us to hear. When I get home, let's talk more about this. I'll be waiting for you naked. We all need a Senjugahara. We choose you, bro. We chose you. I'm very happy that you called me. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't trust when she says this. I'm very happy that you called me. Cut to the end of the episode. He says, no one's happy. I'm a burden to everyone. No. People like having you around. She loves you and you love her. You have to trust in that. You can't just, like, he's just rolling. He's just giving up and letting go of it all. That's just what it is. I don't know what the next move is for this character. I don't know what the comeback is. I don't know what the move is. Man, and I guess it feels like it kind of is. It's so real, man. It's so real for, like, I think for, like, depression and all sorts of things. Right? Where even if people say that you matter and that they care about you, like, you won't feel that way, right? It's kind of a logical versus emotional thing, bro. Even if I'm logically saying, bro, that's crazy. I'm logically saying, bro, they love you, bro. Like, they listen to them, trust in them, blah blah blah. I'm just saying, like, listen to the evidence, but he doesn't feel that way. Like, he doesn't. That's not enough for him emotionally. So he still is going to march to his own death because he doesn't want to take all that responsibility, right? So it doesn't even matter what I'm saying, because that's how he feels. And he knows it too. He knows what he's doing, bro. He knows exactly what he's doing because he looks at me. He looks at me right here because he knows exactly what he's doing. And he knows the significance of it all. He just doesn't care. Right? He's letting himself go into this apathy. Hachikuji clutch. That's all I gotta say. Hachikuji clutch. Owari's crazy, man. That was a crazy duo of arcs, especially with Sodachi, bro. A lot of that applies over really cleanly. I think, like, with just the kind of the ending of Sodachi's character, with her, like, going off to be happy, to to like work on being happy, because that was kind of what Hanakawa said, like you have to try to be happy, and she was saying it to Sodachi. I don't remember exactly where. Like right here. Why can't I be happy? And then Hanakawa was like, you're not trying to be. I'm so glad I remembered the wordage, bro. You can't be happy because you're not trying to be happy. That's what, yeah, exactly. Hanakawa, turn your head from Sodachi to Araragi. That's literally what Araragi is. And now that Sodachi is moving ahead to be happy, Araragi feels left behind because he's still miserable, because he's still allowing himself to be miserable. And he's like, oh, I'm changing because I opened the letter different. You know? It's just crazy. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink. That's Araragi. That's all I gotta say about Araragi and happiness. But yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave it for this one. Owarimonogatari episode 13. What a crazy time. What a crazy arc. I don't even know what's next. There's only 2 more arcs. Or like 2 more seasons, I think. I think I have 2 more folders in my thing. Of something and then Owari season 2. How is this gonna end? Is this even gonna end? Or is this gonna just be sad and horrible? Like, and Araragi's just the same. And just, you know. I don't know. That's all I got for this one. Sorry if it was a bit scattered. This episode just was crazy, bro. And it is what it is. And it is what it is. The rewatch, dude, rewatching old scenes goes crazy. That's all I'll say on that. On to the next, episode 14. And by 14, I mean whatever, I don't even know the name of the next season. On to the next season should be exciting. Of course, if you like the video, like the video, subscribe if you're new, blah, blah, blah. Comment below if you have anything to join the Discord. Talk to me or other Owarimonogatari fans there. But until next time, until the next episode, that is all I've got for you tonight. I'll be seeing you on the next one.